Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the hockey world lately, Sidney Crosby's contract situation. And no, this isn't just another player gets paid story. What makes this really interesting is the why behind Crosby's seemingly underpaid status, especially in an era where NHL salaries are skyrocketing. Personally, I think this story is a perfect blend of strategy, risk, and the human side of sports, something we don't often get to see behind the numbers. Here's the hook. Did Sidney Crosby, one of the greatest players of all time, essentially choose to be underpaid? And if so, why? Let's break it down. First, let's set the stage. Crosby signed a 12-year deal back in 2012 with a cap hit of $8.7 million. Sounds like a massive contract, right? But here's the kicker. This wasn't just a hometown discount, or a player being selfless. According to his agent, Pat Brisson, there was a lot more going on behind the scenes. What many people don't realize is that Crosby was coming off a serious concussion issue at the time. He'd missed almost a full year, and his next contract wasn't even insurable because of the risk to his head. That's a detail I find fascinating. It's not just about the money, it's about the uncertainty of his career longevity. Now, let's talk about the negotiation. Brisson revealed that they were initially looking at a 5-year deal around $11 million per year. But Crosby was 26, and given his physical playing style, there were doubts about how long he could keep it up. So, they started playing with the numbers. What this really suggests is that Crosby wasn't just thinking about the next few years, he was thinking about his entire career. They ended up stretching the deal to 12 years, and lowering the AAV to $8.7 million. From my perspective, this was a calculated risk. Crosby traded peak earnings for long-term security, which, in hindsight, was a smart move given how his career has unfolded. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. If Crosby had gone with a shorter deal, he could have hit free agency again in his prime. Let's say he signed an 8-year, $11 million deal in 2012, he'd have been a free agent in 2020, right when players like McDavid and Matthews were commanding $12.5 million and $11.6 million, respectively. If you take a step back and think about it, Crosby could have easily landed another massive deal then. We are talking an extra $29.9 million over the same period. That's not pocket change, that's life-changing money. Now, I'm not here to say Crosby made the wrong choice. Personally, I think he made the right decision for him. He prioritized stability and loyalty to the Penguins, which is rare in today's sports landscape. But it does raise a deeper question. How much do we value security over maximizing earnings? In a world where athletes are often criticized for chasing the biggest paycheck, Crosby's decision feels almost countercultural. What's also worth noting is how the NHL's salary landscape has changed since 2012. With players like Macklin Celebrini signing deals worth $18.8 million per year, Crosby's $8.7 million looks almost quaint. But here's the thing, Crosby's contract ends in 2025, and Brisson hinted that he could finally get a raise. Maybe a 1-year, $12 million deal. That's pure speculation, but it's fun to think about. What this really suggests is that even the greatest players aren't immune to the evolving economics of the game. So, where does this leave us? Crosby's contract is a masterclass in risk management and long-term thinking. It's not just about the money, it's about the player's health, career trajectory, and personal values. One thing that immediately stands out is how much we underestimate the human element in these negotiations. It's not just agents and GMs crunching numbers, it's players making decisions that will shape the rest of their lives. Closing thought, if Crosby had it all to do over again, would he make the same choice? I don't know. But what I do know is that his story adds a layer of depth to the way we think about athlete contracts. It's not just about who's the highest paid, it's about the why behind the numbers. And that, my friends, is what makes this story so compelling. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.